Hello, my snarky sweethearts. Today we explore r/entitled people, where delusion's free, but dignity costs extra. Buckle up, Snarks, it's spicy. I, 19 female, am a server at a restaurant with a bar in it. The bar side of the restaurant is, of course, 21 plus, and anyone who orders an alcoholic beverage is required to show the waiter their ID. The rest of the restaurant, however, is child-friendly. We were serving breakfast, and I was serving a table of two. A young girl who looked about 8 or 9, and her entitled mother. Let's call her Karen from now on. However, this mom is more than entitled, as she will be arrested by the end of this story. I go and take their drink orders after the hostess sits them down. The young girl gets an orange juice, while Karen gets a water and mimosa. I, of course, check Karen's ID and see that she's born in the early 80s, so she's good for a mimosa. I let the bartender know that I need a mimosa to serve, and I work on the orange juice for the child and Karen's water. Once I have all 3 drinks, I serve their table and take their meal orders. Everything seems to be going smoothly, until I bring back their meals. As I bring back the plates, Karen screamed at me, "You served my child alcohol?" I know for a fact that cannot be true, because I'm the one who made the juice and never even went behind the bar where the drinks are. I said, "Ma'am, you must be mistaken. I didn't put any alcohol in the juice, and I had my eyes on it until it reached your table." Karen snapped, "Well then smell it." She handed me her child's glass, and it did smell like alcohol. I replied firmly, "Once again, I know that I did not put alcohol in your child's drink. Either someone did it while you weren't looking, or you did it yourself, but the juice had no alcohol before it came to your table." Karen looked at me angrily and demanded to see my manager. She yelled, "I am going to sue you for giving my child alcohol. Bring me your manager." I get the manager, and she gets both mine and Karen's side of the story. Security was even alerted because apparently the child had drunk a few sips of the alcohol. My manager, security, and I went and watched the security footage since both me and Karen swore we didn't put alcohol in the juice. Not only did we discover that I was innocent, we saw Karen, as soon as I had placed the glasses down and left, drink half of the child's juice and fill it back up with her mimosa. And then she instructed her child to drink some of it. Karen was arrested for giving her child alcohol and was given a lifetime ban from the restaurant. If she appears again, she will be immediately arrested again. Not how I planned my work morning, but at least it was amusing to watch a Karen get what she deserved. Later, I was informed by someone who spoke to the kid that they didn't even want orange juice and hate orange juice. Karen told her to order it just so that she could mix the drinks. The child originally wanted chocolate milk. You best believe I made sure she got her chocolate milk. So let me get this straight. Karen spikes her kid's juice with mimosa, then screams at the server like she's the victim. "Ma'am, this is brunch, not an episode of CSI Kids Menu." She really thought she could cause a scene, blame the staff, and walk out with a free meal while committing a literal crime. Karen must have assumed the security cameras were just for decoration. One viewer said it best, "What was her endgame? Free meal? Just drama?" Honestly, probably both, with a splash of delusion and a twist of orange juice. Major shout out to the server for making sure that little girl got the chocolate milk she actually wanted. Justice was served, Karen got arrested, and now we all get to enjoy the show. So tell me, was she bold or just bonkers? So my great aunt passed away and left me a decent inheritance. Nothing wild, but enough to pay off my student loans and set aside a little savings. I told my friend we'll call her Rachel over lunch. She got quiet, then she said, "Wow, must be nice. I bet you'll help out your friends who weren't so lucky growing up." I laughed and said something like, I'll probably treat my friends to dinner more often. She stared at me and said, dead serious, "No, actually help. We've known each other forever. I think it'd be fair if you split it." I thought she was joking. She was not. She then brought up all the times she covered my coffee in college and said, "This is just the universe evening the score." Needless to say, I didn't share a dime. She blocked me on Instagram and told our mutual friends I ghosted her after I got rich. Sorry, Rachel. The only thing I'm splitting is the check with people who actually support me. The audacity of Rachel to hear inheritance and immediately start calculating her cut like she's in the will. She really said, "We've known each other forever," like that's a legal reason to demand money. Girl, that's not how inheritances or friendships work. Covered a couple coffees in college? Cool. Want me to Venmo you $6 and call it even? Acting like the universe owes her a payout for being a long-term friend is wild. Then she blocks you and tells people you ghosted her? Peak entitlement. What do you think? Does being friends mean you're owed a slice of someone else's blessing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I bought a small starter home during the housing market crash, completely by myself. I lived there for the better part of a decade before buying a larger home with my now husband. My parents really wanted to live there because it was small and easy to maintain. They have foreclosed in the past, so no way would they be capable of someone giving them a mortgage. Also, my dad is retired and my mom doesn't work. They wanted to rent from me. For a discounted rent, they paid off the mortgage, let's say $50K, with an over six-figure inheritance my parents got. A lease was written explaining that it was a prepayment of rent and their rent would be only the taxes and insurance. They would pay $350 a month, basically only going up when taxes or insurance go up. We signed the lease with all the other typical stuff in it and had it notarized, and that's how it's been for a while now. So, to be clear, I'm not making a frickin' dime on this house. I recently told them the rent would go up by $3. Yes, $3 frickin' dollars. Because of a slight increase in the insurance. My mother lost her mind. She called me money hungry, threatened to rip out everything she had done, garden and other cosmetic changes, said I owed her, and insisted I couldn't evict her because it was her house. She claimed she wasn't responsible for the insurance, even though the lease says otherwise, argued insurance hasn't gone up in a decade, hello lumber prices, and accused me of trying to make her pay my own home insurance. She even said a court would give her my house. We have a notarized lease. They are listed as tenants. I'm the only one on the deed. My father, who apparently has zero backbone in this situation, demanded the bills to see if I was ripping them off. P.S. This house is within commuting distance of freaking Manhattan. A studio apartment around here is like $1,500. This is a house with a big yard for their dog. I could easily rent it for $2,000, even before they moved in. I sent them copies of the taxes and insurance showing only their address. Oh, and I'm charging them discounted taxes because I pay it in full 90 days early. I told them to add it up and divide by 12, and told my mom to talk to a lawyer so they could set her straight. I guess my father agreed with me because now she's divorcing my father. Just wanted to add, they've lived there for 4 years now. My mom has always been entitled and an alcoholic. Weekends and summers were spent with family. My aunt admitted when I was an adult it was to keep us from being around the alcohol. I mainly did this for my dad so he could finally retire after heart surgery. He worked a physically demanding job for 36 years. They asked to rent the house and pay it off as prepaid rent, so their only big monthly expense would be health insurance. I had a few others interested in renting my house. I did not ask them for this. They did not co-sign on the mortgage or help with the down payment, and their names aren't on the deed. There have been past rent increases when taxes or insurance went up, and there was never a problem. Until now. My husband's dad unfortunately passed away without getting to enjoy his retirement, a big reason why my husband told my dad he needs to retire and enjoy life a little, and his inheritance helped pay the down payment on our new house. My mom has a history of dumping her drama on me, and $3 is, I guess, my line in the sand. I started paying $200 a week after I graduated high school until I moved out at 20 while working 65 hours a week on top of school to do this. And yes, shockingly, they foreclosed when I moved out. I stupidly put her on my phone plan and basically paid her phone for 2 years until the contract ended because she only paid me for 3 months out of those 2 years. She promised money for my wedding and never delivered. They didn't pay for college. They stopped paying for clothes and school expenses when I was 16 because I had a job. I know this is all a red flag parade, but I trusted my dad more than her, I guess, and thought I was doing a good thing. I also want to keep this house because I love it and want to move back one day. It's just too small for us as a young family. Or allow my child to live there when they go to college and want to have fun without parents hanging around or racking up dorm costs. Also, she threatens divorce all the time. I doubt she'll actually go through with it. $3. That's all it took for your mom to go full meltdown mode. She's acting like a garden, and a guilt trip entitle her to property rights. If Dramatics paid the bills, she'd be the landlord, the bank, and the HOA. And dragging your dad into it, only to threaten divorce when he agrees with reality? Please. This wasn't about money. It was about power. And when she didn't have it, she went full soap opera. Honestly, the real win here is that you kept receipts, boundaries, and your backbone. Would you let family treat you like a backup ATM with a leash? Drop your take in the comments. And that wraps up today's dose of Our Entitled People. Whew, some folks really think the world owes them everything, huh? If you enjoyed the madness, give this video a big thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you would have done. And hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and get ready for more outrageously entitled stories. See you in the next one. Bring popcorn.